What is up, guys? Pastor Gaming here, bringing you some top tier StarCraft action. And today we have an epic PvT matchup for you. So without further ado, spawning in the bottom position, it is Psystorm Community Zone, Cerdoken. And his opponent in the top position, it is representing Protoss, HoLeeSchitt. And I am very excited to bring this replay to you guys because we have a brand new initiative in the Psystorm Community Clan. We have a brand new Discord server which is now open to the public. And that means you guys too can join the community team and have some epic games with some epic people. And you can really improve your StarCraft by doing so. And you may also get the chance to play in clan wars as well as many in-house and pretty much just a lot of different team activities overall, making it so that you guys can improve in StarCraft and also have some fun with a great bunch of guys. So if the link will be in the description down below, but before we get too far into that, let's take a look at what's going on in this game so far. This is the only action you're going to see, as these guys are both going for very standard play, not really going to be doing too much here, rather than just kind of annoying each other, trying to make the other side make a mistake before they get too far into the game. We do see that a Zealot is going to be on the way, so we should be seeing that Cybernetics core coming up right afterwards. And with this, what he's going to do is he's going to be very aggressive with this first Zealot. He's also going to get a Stalker or two, and he is going to move across the map and try and get some damage done on that command center, which only just went down. So this is a move that can backfire pretty badly if the Terran player is prepared, but right now it does not look like Cerdoken actually knows that this is the case. This probe just being very aggressive with his scouting position, making sure that the Terran does not know that this is coming, but the fact is Cerdoken did keep his Reaper at home, so he should be able to kite that Zealot that is coming across the map right now pretty easily. Nice little hiding position, but actually Cerdoken has to be careful not to lose this Reaper. This is his only attacking unit while that factory gets done. The reactor is down as well, so he wants to be pumping Marines, but he is being very safe with this, also throwing down a bunker, and he does not want to take damage from this early on. Now this is not a huge commitment out of HoLeeSchitt either, because behind this he is going for that robotics facility, so he will be teching up very powerfully here and looking to kind of blindside his opponent. Unfortunately, this little move out didn't really work out. That is a lot of damage taken on the Zealot, so he will not be too long for this world. And in fact, he does go down before the Stalkers even get there. Which does mean by the time that the second Stalker comes out, there will already be a Cyclone on the way, even just focusing down the Reaper because he knows that can heal. Wants to get as much damage done as possible, but this has been completely shut down. So excellent little play out of Cerdoken, making sure that he does not take damage early on, but we do see that we have a very fast robotics facility behind all of this. That is interesting, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, whether it be Disruptors or Colossus. Colossus would be the safer choice to assume, just because Colossus are very good in the current meta. You know, you get 3 Colossus and move out, and then you're in a fantastic position versus a player going bio. But Cerdoken does still have that Reaper, and it's a good thing too, because now he can go into the main base and really scout around, see what is going on. All pretty standard stuff at the moment, but now we do see that Cerdoken saw the Warp Prism. He sees the robotics facility finishing up. This shield battery will make sure that he does not take too much more damage, is HoLeeSchitt. And we do see that it is Disruptor drops on the way. So we'll have to see how much damage he can really get done with this, as Cerdoken Being cheeky, following the meta, is going to be going for mech. We'll have to see whether it's traditional or battle. But overall, he does have pretty solid defenses right now to deal with drop play. Even pinging saying, hey, I'm going to defend right here. This is my base. You can't get in. So with this, drop is going to be coming across the map. One Zealot. He's trying to be a hero, but unfortunately he'll probably get taken out pretty quickly. Now Cerdoken really doesn't know that this is on the way just yet, so he's going to have to split like a god, pretend it's Banelings, and just go. I believe he did see it, but that's actually a really fast War Prism, so it's really hard to defend against this. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a miserable attack for Cerdoken. He just lost so much right there, and Disruptor is going to get taken out in the War Prism, so that does help him out a bit. He lost 8 workers in that attack, so he is going to be struggling a little bit economically versus the follow-up. Although, like I said, that Zealot is just cannon fodder. So with this, we have determined the tech for both sides. It's going to be Disruptor into Templar Archon, and on his side it is going to be Battle Mech. Now Battle Mech is a very fun, very new innovation that has really been sweeping TVZs recently. You've kind of seen it in PvT, but overall it's just very good for very fast, very mobile attacks. And Cerdoken just wanting to keep his opponent on the back foot for right now. He is banking a lot of minerals. Would like to see him kind of spend those a little bit better. He's having a little bit trouble doing so, however, because his gas is just not really super high right now. But I'm loving this. This is a bit of a feint attack. We got the Cyclones coming in, and we got the Marines on the other side, so a bit of a two-pronged little harassment attack. Not really meaning to kill his opponent just yet, but this will do decent damage if HoLee is not paying attention. Charge is complete on the Zealots, so he will be able to take out a couple of these. Disruptors are going to be the key pivotal unit here as he takes out the Marine cover. And now it's up to Cerdoken to just split like a madman. The Warpins will help to clean this up, and that will probably be it for this attack right now. Only Zealots going down, even forcing one of those Widow Mines to fire prematurely. So Cerdoken, really just has to be careful with those Disruptor shots. He's sticking around a little bit longer than he'd probably like to, using a few more Cyclones, and those are such important units in this composition. Cyclones being the big gas sink for this kind of tech. Finally, do see Hellions on the way as well. Those are very important, but getting these Widow Mines is very nice as well, because it does force his Protoss opponent to be very careful with his Zealots. Storm will be complete pretty soon as well, so a little bit of zoning potential here for HoLee. And other than that, we pretty much standardize here. Cerdoken just wants to keep his opponent on the back foot. He doesn't really have enough to kill him just yet, so it's all about just picking off units without losing anything, or very little rather. Killing off the Archon though, that was a huge deal. Storm not going to be enough to save that Templar. Disruptor's taking out 1 or 2 units right there, and the Zealot's going to be able to force everything else back for the time being. Cerdoken also just banking so many minerals right now. He needs to get a couple more factories up to take care of things. If he doesn't, then he's going to be very hard pressed in the later stages of the game. But right now, he knows what he wants. He just wants to keep attacking. Now he is forcing out 4 Cyclones at a time and is throwing down those factories like I thought he would. Widow Mines getting split off, starting to take down a lot of units here. Just got to be careful. You can't really move in there with those disruptors. This is such a huge choke point. Coupled with all of the storms, this is pretty much a death point for anything that comes in here. Zealots do keep getting some nice shots off with those Widow Mines. But behind this, the Widow Mines have actually been left behind. Nicely spread out as well so that they don't get taken out by storms or disruptors too easily. This is actually pretty nice because it does force these kind of little micro moves in the backfield, which does mean that HoLee has to be very careful with his army later on. Even getting the Observer with that shot. Excellent, excellent out of Cerdoken there. Now, we do see a bit of a tech switch here. We see that Cerdoken will be going for siege tanks behind this. He is still pumping out some Cyclones, 2 at a time, but he does want to get some splash damage in order to combat the army of HoLee. It's going to keep coming in here. I just love this constant aggression. It's forcing defensive weapons out of his opponent. It's making it so much more difficult for HoLee to be out on the backfield, and even just defending his bases becomes very difficult with this. Although you do have to be careful because we have seen huge disruptor hits taking out a lot of units. Siege tanks gonna be coming out on the map as well. He's just gonna keep going with all of this. And it's only going to be 4 tanks. He has gone right back into Cyclones. He does not want to overextend with those tanks, because then you just get disruptors and Zealot charge, and you are fine as the Protoss player. He needs to focus fire those tanks a little bit, get the main bulk of this army, but right now he's already doing a good job cleaning up the Zealots, making sure those disruptor shots do not get close. A couple of scans going to seal the deal in that regard. And we do see Cerdoken just slowly pushing his way up the ramp, being very careful not to overextend here. Even getting the Observer so that he keeps full control of what he sees. Huge storm's going to go off and blanket this army, and that's when the Zealots are going to chop right in on this force. So this looks like it may get cleaned up here, but that is still a lot of siege tanks. Even killing off a lot of disruptors as well. Ooh, getting the Warp Prism will mean that Micro is going to be a lot harder. Wants to get on top of those tanks once again, so this does get cleaned up. But all it's doing is buying time for Cerdoken. Now, to HoLee's credit, he does have that 4th base up. He's got the 5th as well. That's already mining. He's actually, how many bases does he have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. 5 bases, because you guys just need to know, never do math on videos or YouTube because you forget how to count. Now we do see a couple of run-bys on the way as well. This does get spotted by HoLee, and he already has a couple of units in position to defend against this. So overall, he should not take too much damage from these forces, as he is going into Void Rays, trying to get an air army to combat this, which is not the worst idea in the world, you know? This is still mech, and mech is very weak to air forces. Even that battle mech can be taken out with a few well-placed air units. About 12 workers in that attack. Very nice little run by. Now the bad thing is, behind all of this, he is going back into siege tanks once again. So if he loses the Cyclones, he will be in no position to combat this air army. As you can see, the Void Rays do have prismatic alignment already on the way. They do get picked off though. Hellbat's doing a great job cleaning up the Zealots, getting stormed all over, blanketing them. But as they do go down, the Cyclones are able to escape with their mechanical lives. So once again, a small run by on that side of the map. And now that he sees the fact that it is air, he's going to throw down 3 starports at home and is just going to power up that air army to defend himself versus what is meant to be a very aggressive Protoss air army. The run by is going to get cleaned up. Not too much going on there, as both of these players kind of just doing a little bit of a reset, getting their economies back in order, and not really going to try and push any advantages. For HoLee, I would kind of like to see him do a few little run-bys here and there. There is not that much defense with these armies, or these bases rather. For Cerdoken, they're quite wide open. So a few Zealot run-bys would do wonders for him, force the army back, and just kind of give him a lot of space. 7 Liberators on the way. And that was a bit of a risky base to take right there. He did not think he was going to get that, I bet. A few lock-ons are going to come in. But this army is just very hard to engage as HoLee. You gotta wait for those Zealot Warpins to be able to take this out. Disruptors can't come in too early, otherwise they will get taken out. And that shot does not fit, but actually this force is doing a very good job of cleaning this up. All of the tanks going down. The Cyclones need to get their lock-ons off recharge, and they are going to do so. And now they will be pushing back what is left of this Protoss army, but overall, I think this might be a bit of an overextension for HoLee. This is going to come in, and even though they don't do a lot of damage anymore, they still do quite a bit when in large numbers. Even going to siege up right here, give a little bit more position for this army. The storms just blanketing everything, making it so hard to engage this. The lock-ons going on the interceptors, so they're not really going to be doing anything here. And overall, Cerdoken is once again pushed back by just a small unit, a couple of units from the Protoss player. Very powerful units, but still a very small force. And now Scan's going to go down once again. Cerdoken looking to get even more trades that he's been getting. Liberator is going to make sure that there is nothing on the ground to defend against this, and the Cyclones are going to start taking down those interceptors in the sky. Even the Vikings helping out in that regard. So now the carrier's going to be going down as well. And HoLee is in a little bit of hurt here. He's losing those very expensive, very heavy gas units. And even though he is pushing Cerdoken back each and every single time, he is paying a very high price for it. Just look at the flight of the Vikings here. Just really just keeping on control here for Cerdoken. So excellent work to him. HoLee going to be losing a little bit more here if Cerdoken's paying attention, but he is not, and loses the entire run by. And HoLee is very mineral broke, which is really going to hurt him in the later stages. Going to get a nice little repair on here. Just wants to reset his army once again, as HoLee takes another base, hoping he can defend it with what little income he has. If we take a look at this, he's still mining a lot, but unfortunately he's having to spend it much faster than Cerdoken is, as Cerdoken is taking much better trades in regards to all of this. Even that barracks is just scouting around, trying to see where his Protoss opponent is. Now we will be coming in once again. The Zealots need to tank for the main army, but they're going to get taken out before they even get on top of anything. War Prism, very important for some micro. I don't believe... Okay, he does have Blink, but it's just a little bit easier for War Prism micro. We'll be taking out the Rex, so no more factories. I think Cerdoken's going to be okay with that. And here we go once again. Fully decked out units. Still no upgrades on his air army though, which is a little bit of an important oversight. Storm's going to be blanketing the Vikings. They're not being microed at the moment. Now going to focus fire down everything in the sky. All that is left is those Stalkers and a couple of High Templar. I believe only one of them, none of them have Storm, by the way. So Cerdoken is looking to take this engagement very heavily in his favor. Even the Vikings can land in a couple of minutes here because those carriers will not last long versus the overwhelming attack of his opponent. So HoLee is losing pretty much all of his units right now. He has taken out most of the Cyclones on the ground, so that ground army is very low for Cerdoken. This next big warpin might actually just finish the job here, but the Liberators just doing a fantastic job of taking out those Zealot warpins. So once again, HoLee survives by the skin of his teeth. He has 2 carriers left. Actually, I think there's 3. Yeah, there is now 3 carriers, but they do not have optimal interceptor count just yet. You need to have full interceptors to take care of this army. And even then, it might just not be enough because there's not much to buffer here for HoLee. It's currently 61 army to 104, and Cerdoken can just repair any unit that survives the fight. HoLee doesn't really have that advantage. Do have a couple of Widow Mines as well. At this stage in the game, he's not going to really be expecting them, is HoLee. And even again, just taking this very aggressive base down here. That's one of Cerdoken's bases, and he doesn't even care. So while the fight is engaging up here, it's going to happen really quick. Liberators sieging on up, and the Vikings are going to start doing their magic storms, doing once again just a lot of damage to all of this. And overall, it does look like HoLee is just being very cautious with his engagements. Disruptors doing everything they can, but still not getting those big hits that he wants. Cyclones picking off every single unit on the retreat. This is just, again, not looking very good for HoLee. Because now the Liberators do kind of make those Disruptors worthless. Stalkers are going to be the one thing that helps out those carriers, and even then they're not doing a very good job of it. One does go down. It's pretty much just pure Stalker warp in, so he's going to be looking to jump on this very soon, maybe. Because he is starting to set up a flank attack, but the Cyclones do chase that down. That is a lot of dead Stalkers on the way. Once again, HoLee is going to fight into this. The Stalker's going to get around the Liberators, so that is good for them. They're going to start taking them out little bit by little bit, getting the reinforcements, but unfortunately they have to back off once again. The carrier count has been reset, and Cerdoken once again holds this location, and even then can take a little bit more ground if he wants to. So what are HoLee's options here? They're pretty much just warp in, and hope you can get enough to kind of overwhelm this army, but unfortunately the longer this game goes on, the better these units get. Those upgrades still on the way. The Vikings have the ability to land because you just don't really have enough to rebuild as HoLee. You can get maybe 1 or 2 carriers out in time, but unfortunately those just do take way too much time to build. And overall, he's just going to keep sieging up is Cerdoken and move in nice and slow. Storm's once again just going to blanket this army, but they're just way too tanky at this point. Taking a bit of damage, but not enough to kill them off. And that's really what you need as HoLee, is to kill off these units with that splash. Cerdoken kind of just sitting around here, unfortunately, wasting a little bit of time, giving Cerdoken, giving HoLee a little bit more time to get those Tempests up. HoLee actually asking, Tempest, is that the way to beat this? We'll have to see if Cerdoken responds, but I don't think he's really going to want to give away what is going on in this game to his opponent. A lot of units actually going down here. The Liberators starting to get their numbers thin, but the Widow Mines in the back just doing a fantastic job of cleaning up what is left of this army. It is just pure Stalker at this point. And even then, that pure stalker is not long for this world. If you blink away, you're gonna go right on top of a Widow Mine. That is the entire army of Holy gone once again. It's currently 75 to 26. And that he's looking like he is actually just going to tap out here. You know, a little bit of talking. He just wants to find out what is going on. And both sides giving each other a little bit of advice about what to do versus this tech. Now that he sees the Tempests are on the way, he can go straight back into Viking production. 7 Vikings is very good against 3 Tempests. So overall, Cerdoken, now realizing that this space has been taken, he's just going to head on down and destroy it. HoLee sticking in there for the most part. He's already said GG, well played. So he does know that he's pretty much beaten in this game, but he's still going to make a pretty good run of it. A couple more warp-ins, a couple more flanks, and a couple more attacks. Looking to end this out is Cerdoken. Tempests do come in, but the Vikings are on the backfield just waiting to pounce on all of this. One of them even getting stuck on those SCVs in the back. But since these are massive units, they do take bonus damage versus those Tempests. And yeah, just saying like that because he was saying that they just die really, really fast versus the Cyclones. And there is nothing on the production tab except for a couple of Zealots left. So this game is pretty much stuck a fork in it done. So with that, I gotta tell you guys once again, we do have that new public server on the way. It should be out within another week or so. And with that, we're going to have a very active clan status. We're going to be looking to recruit new players to get new clan wars. And we're going to be going all over the place with our in-house cups, as well as several massive tournaments on the way. And with that, Cerdoken is the winner, and you guys can be too. Info will be posted in the description below, and we hope to see you in the Discord server. So thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Pastor, and see you very soon on the next big Psystorm replay.